Yo, people will really sell their soul for this shit, bruh. They say they about the culture, but really, they just gonna show their ass. Yo, these niggas bugging. They ain't really saying nothing, just hustling. Walk around, looking sus, and it's all just disgusting. Ew. These rappers make me sick, please pass the roller cussing. He said it's Spike E, man, get up off your knees. I believe I can fly, but first I gotta pee. He was such a G, king of flipping games, rocking the caviar. Now come sit with his pain, another soul down the drain. He was really just a lame, but the cult of personality is difficult to tame. Just a drug in the vein, the whole world is insane. They all swallowed up, and to me it's just a shame. It's sad, it's academics and it's glad. We run until our business got the nerve to get mad. It be about the bad, little lawsuit is a drag. Like a politics, they say my nigga is a, come on. I'm saying we gotta do better, you know what I mean? Tell me about it. Niggas out here talking about peeing on each other and shit. Peeing on each other, what type of shit, you know what I mean? Trying to make that shit sexy out there. Ain't nothing sexy about that. They talking about they booty hole and shit. That's what we at. They booty hole. That's how we gonna raise the babies, yo. Yo, let's do better, yo. Hang around the cesspool, you bound to get shit on. So many play themselves just to try to get on. All captivated, caught up in a trance. This life is like a party and the devil wanna dance and you do the hustle. Now you wanna tussle and rustle. You had the records, but you ain't had the muscle to get you for your publishing. Now you caught up in the shuffle. Said you was getting the bag, but all you got was ruffles. Plus the internet's undefeated. With IT, you can read it. Power's a drug and these people need it. If you deep it really ain't no secret. They want you for your soul, you gotta fight to try to keep it. Michael tried to tell us, but we told him beat it. And they took back his catalog like we all didn't see it. I can't believe it or be it, but you sow, you receive it. We gotta do better if the future's gonna see it. I'm telling y'all, y'all better get y'all act together. They ain't playing around. Say it in a minute, they just gonna cut it.
Yeah. 24 hours of peace, love, unity, safely having fun. Real hip hop for the people. It's an engagement. It's a demonstration. Using hip hop culture to get you activated. Let the people hear the bass, the vibration, the love, peace, unity, and watch them add on. It's a culture. It's not just rapping. It's not what we do. It's how we do it. We're doing it right here, Springfield Avenue, between Bergen and Plum. 24 hours straight, man. It's crazy.
We the people. The people of the culture.
Yeah, Lawrence. Fire.
The hip hop culture.
Yo, we love rap.
Yes,
love
we do.
it. Yeah, we do. But it's really about the culture.
Yeah, let them know how.
The culture.
Yeah. What up, man?
You know a hard head makes a soft behind. If I only knew my schoolwork like I knew them rhymes. Mom upside my head, I'm trying to memorize every line. High power rap breaks, super rhymes. Deep into the culture, didn't even know it. Young entrepreneurs spitting bars like a poet in a rush to be mature behind bars when we blow it. In the bold as rappers too immature to outgrow it. It was more than just music, something next to breathing. I get giddy like a baby trying to spit while I'm feeding. The mic I be squeezing, dropping facts like I'm teaching. Leaking flows for the perfect beat seeking. Mama used to say, take your time, young man. But I'm trying to feel a light so you can see it when I tan. I'm like one I never ran, I'm a fan but never stand. Just take it backwards to the east, X and out the clan.
Holy is it great, having omnipresence, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy is it great, having omnipresence, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Pueblo Unido, grassroots Steve Biko. Rule number one, never forget the people. I live that, I get back. Part all in it, no gimmick, straight facts. From the start, I'm the light from the dark. Born from black art, knew my part. Daddy gave me, mama made me. North raised me, hip hop saved me. For the culture now, for the black and brown. Harriet Underground, sun up to sundown. Till my people get out. North to town, south, spread like word of mouth. While you cowards is hooded, we battle the bullet. Black lives to the fullest. Here to the end, stronger together. That's the day we win.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent. We are
But no one stopped to think about the people.
holy integrated, having omnipresent. We are.
Yeah. But no one stopped to think about the people.
The legends before me are ones I want to get it like, but hitting quick hit different when hitting right. Mob ties, this thing of ours is birthrights. Who's next for the culture and them searchlights? Do it to it, this music, I'm trying to talk through it. Every plan on my own, I watch the line do it. Airborne to Tuskegee, like a Wendell Pruitt. Trumpets blow, this song's here, melodic ruins. Think forward before they have to think form. Boom bap, I talk that and live enormous. Informers when present in your boy performing, especially when them drums snap by Brian Lawrence. Do it all, that poet talker, the line crosser. Many hawk and I speak by your flying saucers. Make it worth it, I can't take no feeble offers. Signed, sealed, and delivered, and you know the offer.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent. We are
But no one stopped to think about the people.
holy integrated, having omnipresent. We are the people.
Y'all see what it is. This is IZM Sports episode 195. You saw Don't Sell Your Ass was the first video I put up. That's my latest release. And then I put up Real Hip Hop for the People, which was filmed at 24 Hours of Peace, an annual event we do in Newark, New Jersey. Pushing peace, love, unity, safely having fun. Hold on one second. What's up, Chuck? I'm doing IZM Sports right now. We got Chuck Creekmore from allhiphop.com. We keep it hip hop in the building, no doubt. I hit you back after. I'll hit Chuck back after. So I thought it was important to show Real Hip Hop for the People clip because currently we have the Honorable Mayor Ras Baraka, who is co-founder of that phenomenal event with myself, running for the governor of New Jersey.
Wow.
Is the Democratic primary for the state of New Jersey. And we have the Honorable Mayor Ras Baraka, who's our leading candidate. We're going to see him the whole thing. But June 10th is the Democratic primary. So we need everybody in New Jersey to get out there and go vote. Yeah, go vote.
All right.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah. Mom Duke's actually moving back to Jersey. So I got to tell her to.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
Whereabouts?
She moving back in 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks, I should say. But she's not sure exactly where, but she's narrowed it down to Bloomfield, Belleville, or Bergen, North Bergen.
I don't know if you caught the report. The top 10 best places to live in New Jersey. Apparently, East Orange makes the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she'll be staying with Jason, who still lives in East Orange.
Okay.
Until she finds a spot.
There was a. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find an article. Mom sent it. Let me find this article. I was like, wow, it caught me off guard. I saw it on social media. Best places. East Orange, New Jersey, June 2nd, 2025. Mayor Ted R. Green proudly announces that East Orange has been ranked among the top 10 best places to live in New Jersey by U.S. News and World Report in his 2025-2026 rankings. East Orange secured the number 9 spot on the list, which evaluated cities across the state based on factors such as value, desirability, job market, and quality of life.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, right.
I know our brother Vinny Brown has been doing some great work in East Orange and the Essex County area. He just does great work across the board. Of course, the partner of KG in the legendary group Naughty by Nature, also MC Treachery. And then they got the Illtown Sluggers brand. But KG's family over here at IZM Sports, as is the other two. We don't see Vinny and Tretch on here like we want to, but, we got to work on that. Vinny's been on before, but, KG's a regular, and hopefully, KG going to chime in on these Knicks.
Yeah.
Bruh. So, just a quick recap. The Knicks lost to the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Was this 4-2? Was it 4-2 or 4-1?
No, it was 4-1, gentleman's sweep.
Wow, damn. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. There's no benefit in doubt. Now,
I'm sorry. It was 4-2 because remember they won game 2 and then they won the first game back at the Garden.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then we wake up this morning to news that Tom Thibodeau was relieved of his head coaching duties.
No. Before you go on to that, let me correct myself. It was gentleman's sweep. It was 4-1.
Okay.
Because game 6 would have been back at Indiana. And they didn't get there.
Nah, game 6 was Indiana. It was 4-2.
Okay.
It was 4-2. Game 6 was in Indiana. If Knicks would have won that game, it would have
gone game 7. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Yeah.
Right, yeah. 4-2. But we wake up today and, Tibbs got fired. I don't say fired. I talked to somebody on the inside and they said it's not what it seems. But nonetheless, he will not be the head coach of the New York Knicks next year. What is it?
It's not what it seems to me. I mean, I was
the person didn't go into details. They didn't go in depth. I was hoping to get him on the show tonight, but it didn't work out. However, they just basically said that it was actually being talked about prior to the final game.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it seemed like it was predetermined, particularly with all the noise that was going around. If they didn't get it done, they were trying to set it up to angle to make Tibbs the scapegoat or the first and immediate change. And that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, we've been watching this kind of play itself out over the last few years because Tibbs is notoriously, plays his players into the ground, so to speak, and not just with the New York Knicks, but the Bulls, Minnesota. He's always had the history of not really utilizing his bench as he should. And then with the first 2 losses, that was a heavy criticism. Jalen Brunson and Cat, I guess, getting into foul trouble at various times during the series, and having to sit down. You start to see the bench is actually better than Tibbs is utilizing them. You really have a bench. You can really go deep, whether it's McBride or it's one of the other fellas. What's up, Kai Will?
What's going on, fellas?
What up, Kai?
Yeah, we just talking about these New York Knicks and Tibbs being relieved of his head coaching responsibilities. And what would have been the signal? The sign, for the last few years, we've all recognized that he doesn't really utilize his bench how he maybe should. And it kind of showed itself in his last series in that players that were given the opportunity to play, did step up and could have been utilized better. McBride, Shamet, some of these other players, just to give Jalen Brunson, Bridges, Hart, these guys a rest. Josh Hart, we call him the heart of the team. He was missing in action the whole series.
Yeah. And
so it's like, I don't, were people tired? Were they just tight? Was it the moment? Was it was it coaching?
Well, he definitely got out coached by Rick Carlisle, but they they were tired, and I think when Bridges, I guess, made it public before the playoffs that Tibbs was running them in the ground, I think that's when the alarm bells went off. Meaning, because I was wondering the whole time, why is the Knicks advancing, but it's all this criticism about Tibbs. So they were just setting it up. If they don't go all the way, if they don't win the chip, he was going to be the scapegoat, and it may be legitimate because we did see what the bench was capable of doing by them having to play them. And now the question is, had he played them sooner, would they have been more ready? Would they have, first of all, I hate the fact that, everybody's like shoveling quick dirt on the Knicks when that pivotal game that lost was the one that came back to haunt them. Because if had they won that game one, which they did the unthinkable to come back, this series would have been tied going back to New York, and it's a whole new series. It's a whole new fate. But
you said when they lost game one in New York or the first game?
No, game one in New York. When Indy had to do the unthinkable, do what no other team in what? One out of it was 0 and 1,047 teams that were up whatever many points, and then Naismith had to hit 3 threes in the last 90 seconds, 6 threes in the fourth quarter. I mean, they had to do the unthinkable to win that game, and that was the game that ended up coming back to haunt them.
Yeah. I would say, just because Indiana's playing so well, the latter part of the season going into the playoffs, just how they were clicking, New York really needed to win those first 2 games in New York.
Yeah.
Like even the split to me wouldn't. It's kind of an inevitability because of how Tibbs plays the players and like what we saw, what the Knicks are lacking, whether it's coaching or whether it is true talent on the bench. I mean, it is what it is. It's not even like if they win the second game in New York that Indiana can't win that last game, or like as you just can't sleep on Indiana. You can't say New York, So. I'm bothered, even though, it seemed like I was cheering for a Knicks loss. I actually wasn't. It's been so long. And Jalen Brunson is like, he's the truth to me.
Yeah.
I know there's some criticism about how he plays. He's it seems more of a hardened Luka type, hold the ball too long. I think that's coaching more than that's how he prefers to play. I think that if there was another coach coming with another system, or they figure out how to utilize these other players and there's a flow created as opposed to just him, dominating the ball and, all right, who's open if I'm not. I think they can be successful. I'm interested to see what this draft, not draft, the Giannis, where Giannis lands, because I think Giannis with the Knicks could be crazy. Like that could be crazy. But outside of that, do they break it up and move players around? Who do they go get? Who's the head coach? Going forward for the New York Knicks. Like it's so many question marks right now with the Knicks. It's like,
I'm hearing murmurs of Jay Wright.
Jay Wright, yeah.
Coaching his Villanova boys coming out of retirement. That's what I'm hearing murmurs of. So, and then I'm also hearing a KD and Cat swap or trade.
Phoenix.
And, so I mean, there's going to be a lot of turnover with the Knicks, I think. Not a lot, but a big turnover. Obviously, the coach, and I think it's going to be. I think Cat may be moved or something like that. But either way, I mean, I think it's looking up. Definitely looking up. I mean, we overachieved this year, and I ain't mad at it. But
did you overachieve?
I think so.
Nah. Yeah, nobody had the Knicks winning.
Knicks going to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, they went the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I did all year. I thought they could beat Boston.
Nah.
You're in the minority.
You are the minority, bro. I didn't think they could beat Boston. And even if Tatum wouldn't have got hurt, we would have beat Boston just because how somehow we won those 2 games. we were, down 20 and we won those games at Boston. That's how we won that series. But on a normal 7, nah, we don't beat Boston. I don't think we beat Cleveland. And we clearly
It's
didn't beat
amazing how
Detroit.
that.
I know all year I've been going, I'm not sleeping on the Knicks. I think the Knicks can beat Boston. That's why all year I said not that they would, but that they could. And I mean, Jason Tatum going down definitely helped it out that they beat them. But like you said, even with Jason Tatum, I'm not convinced that Boston was coming out of that series.
No, they weren't. Based
I
on
think
how
it's
we
the-
started off, because we won, we stole those 2 games in Boston after being down 20. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how you get up on them. That's how you take a series. But they're better than
You gonna
us.
say something, Kai?
No, I was just gonna say it's just amazing how the luck, and I say this respectfully because the Knicks definitely deserved to win the first 2 games against Boston, but how that luck kind of swung in the first couple games in Boston in their favor, and in the first game against Indiana out of their favor. It was like the same type of situation, except they were up, and Indiana did some amazingly lucky things, had some lucky plays, and some, and that goaltending in overtime. We can't forget that because even though that lucky shot dropped, Knicks probably still would have won if it wasn't for that goaltend in overtime in game 1. But no, just real quick, just going back if I can. So what you were saying about Tibbs and the rumors of people playing too hard, him playing his players too hard. I think Macau gets a lot of the slings and the arrows for talking about how they're getting overplayed, but I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. I don't know anything. I don't know any Knicks players, but I would like to think that was a group effort to come forward and say that on behalf of the team, and then Macau just kind of drew the short straw to be the one to kind of come forward and say it, because Cat obviously couldn't say it. The narrative is already that Cat got Tibbs fired for the second time. That's already like a narrative. That's already a thing. Jalen Brunson is never going to publicly speak against Tibbs because his father's a part of the coaching staff. So how crazy does that look? When you basically speaking down against Tibbs, and Tibbs, basically hired your pops, and they have to work together. So that wasn't going to happen, and there was no other voice on the team at that moment that could, be respected as far as being vocal. So anyway, I think Macau was just the one that was kind of speaking for how they all felt, and I think that decision on Tibbs has been made. I know. I don't know if you guys said this already. I know. I think you were saying this before, Hawk, but I think that decision was made about Tibbs long before the playoffs started. That anything shy of a championship,
Yeah.
we're moving in a different direction.
I agree. So JT is over on IG. Big shout out to everybody watching on Instagram. Appreciate you. He says he took them the furthest out of anybody else in 24 years. Don't
That's
get
facts.
it. Yes, but just what you said, Kai, that it was kind of already predetermined that if we don't get to the chip, then we're going to go in a different direction because of Tibbs's history, not just with the Knicks, but also with the Knicks. Like, we saw last year, we see how long has he been there? He's been there, this is his 4th year?
5 years.
5 or 6
5
years.
5 years. And it's like,
Did a great job. Did an incredible job.
yeah,
making
but
that
his
team
running
relevant.
the running critique, not just here on IZM Sports, but across the board. I've heard players say it. I've heard, other analysts, and, he plays his 5 and he plays them long. He runs them into the ground, so it's probably like, listen, if we can't get it done your way, we're going to have to switch gears. Even like, you saw what happened when Cat had to go to the bench, when Jalen had to go to the bench, and these other players came into who were the other players that McBride,
Sherman.
but
Campaign.
who's that? Campaign.
Yep.
Um,
DeLon Wright. Is that his name? DeLon Wright.
Yeah, right.
yeah. So when you see that and them have success, it's like, yo, we should have been doing this the whole time. We'd be in a much better position in our standings with this Indiana team if he utilized the bench just a bit more. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Tibbs
He's gone.
Y'all. What's going on?
Yo.
All right.
We got the echo.
What's echoing?
Yeah.
I'll sign out. Come back.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
though
more-
with Tibbs, though, I think the move was definitely the right move because he is not the right coach for this personnel, period. And I think as the personnel change, because he's a defense first minded coach anyway. And now with this group, with the shooters, the style they have to play, he's not the right fit anyway. I think he brought them as far as they're gonna go, and he did a good job getting us there. But he's it's time for new change at the helm.
So you know what? Now, as I think about this, maybe it's not time, or it wasn't time for them to fire Tibbs. You know what I mean? What they probably should have did is had Vin and K just round trip tickets. You know what I mean? Just because that worked. I saw that happen. I saw it go down. What was that game? Game 5?
Game 5.
Naughty by nature, Ill-Town Sluggers run up in the building, and Jokers come out with a win. Go to Indiana. You know what I'm saying? My peoples ain't in the building, and it came up short. So we gotta talk about who runs the show over there, yo. Who should we talk? Was it World Wide West? Is it
Leon Rose?
Leon Rose? Is it? Yeah, man. It was good seeing you guys, bro.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. A lot of energy in the building, man. It was dope to be a part of it, man. Unfortunately, the run has come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was so dope. Shaq kept like in the halftime show. He kept looking over his shoulder. He wanted to look down there so bad. He's like, fuck this.
Yeah, Shaq came in there. All the guys came in. We got a chance to chop it up with all of them, man. So like I said, overall, it was pretty cool. I seen Wes up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide West. That's my guy. We go way back.
Yeah. Yo, man. So
all the Nick legends, man, in the building, man. It's dope, man. It's a dope scenery, man. It's a dope vibe. It's a dope environment. Got to get Oakley back up in there, but everybody else is there.
Rough,
everybody's there.
That's rough. That's a rough one. I ain't talked to Oak. I saw Oak talk recently about the relationship with him and the Knicks.
Yeah.
And they still haven't really made it right with Oak.
Yeah, everybody else is in there, from LJ to Charles Smith to Bill Bradley, all of them in there,
Bill Bradley.
Yeah.
I even saw Allen Houston. I didn't recognize
Allen Houston, yeah. Allen Houston's, yeah. John Starks, all of them in there, man. Like Starberry, they all were in there, man.
And Marcus Camby, he works for the Knicks, right? Isn't he like a type of executive?
Who can be or
Allen Houston is, I thought, right?
No, Allen Houston is. Allen Houston works with the Knicks, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely good to see all the Knick legends, at the Garden coming out to support and cheer the team. It's just unfortunate that, they couldn't carry that over to the chip.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you think about Tibbs being relieved of the head coaching duties over there? What's your feel on that?
I don't know, man, because it's like, who you really going to get? You're going to run and get who? Mike Malone? Who else? We'll probably go try to see about Mark Jackson.
I'm hearing Jay Wright.
Jay Wright?
Villanova, yeah. They're bringing him out of retirement. He got his boys back, getting
We're putting a lot of stock into Villanova, ain't there? Right?
Yeah.
That's really start pushing all your chips over to the Villanova Cats.
Listen, he know how to get chips out of them. You know what I'm saying?
He used to. That was college. This is a whole different animal now.
Yeah, but he was always a great coach, successful with those guys. They needed a new voice for that personnel, regardless. Tibbs wasn't going to do it with that personnel. He just wasn't. Yeah. I mean, they got far. I mean, it was a good season. As a Knicks fan, I ain't mad. I was excited. You expect to win every day, but like I told Hawk just now, okay, I think we overachieved. I think we were gonna win the first round, but second round or going to the chip, that would have been excess. But
they bugging, K. Hey, but
nah, the Knicks got a squad. Knicks got a squad, man. Like, think about it, man.
Bro.
Knicks got a squad, man. Like, honestly, if you look at the Knicks squad, you look at Indiana squad, you ain't gonna say Indiana got better players than the Knicks. You're gonna just be like, okay, it could be kind of sort of even,
Yeah.
It's
they're just deeper. That's all.
They're just deeper. And I don't even think it's too much to say deeper. I just think they utilize them more. That's all it was. But I guess you could say deeper. Yeah.
Nah, I'm not gonna say deeper. I'm gonna say they didn't utilize it enough because when they were forced to utilize their bench, the Knicks were successful. So you should be giving these players opportunities, in the earlier games in the series or even in the earlier in the earlier playoffs, so they can see what you got. You don't even know what you have.
Right.
You were forced to use these players and you put them in, and they represented and showed out. At least to not have Jalen Brunson in foul trouble as much, or Cat in foul trouble, or both these players are super tired because they can't, it's all about them. Like, I think Tibbs was understood. Listen, we're gonna try it your way, one more go round. And if it don't work out, we're gonna move on. So that's coaching. That's more
it is. But I think, and even the ones or some people that say like Mike Malone is Tibbs again too. Like, I just don't think that people gonna take his attitude, man. That's why he got ran out of Denver. He has an attitude issue, man. So for him to coach, and be out there like that, I just don't know if that'll work with the Knicks either.
I don't know if y'all been hearing this, but I've just been hearing it in the last hour. But a lot of people were thinking that Leon Rose could talk to Nico and do something with Jason Kidd, get him out of his contract and bring Jason Kidd over here, because he's been on the record saying he's not really happy with ownership in Dallas and with the whole Luka thing. If they could pull that off, if I could see anybody kind of running some high power offense with the pieces that they have, and I don't know who they're gonna get, but I think Jason Kidd could do something incredible with them because he also overachieved last year.
Well, let me ask you this and tell me if I'm bugging.
And he coached Brunson too before.
And he coached Brunson, absolutely.
Right, but on that same highway, just gonna hop in another lane. What about Rick Brunson?
I don't know about that.
That'd be a disaster, yo.
You think?
And that's my man too, yo. But man, like, I don't know. Yeah, man. Because I just think that'll ruffle too many feathers, man.
Yeah.
I think it'll ruffle a couple of feathers, man.
That'll kill the locker room.
Man. So he's been sitting on that bench now, what, for 2.5 years?
How long? Ever long, Jay? Brunson's been there.
Actually,
he's been there. He's been with Tibbs because he was with Tibbs when he's been with Tibbs in Dallas and Minnesota. Brunson has.
Oh, okay.
I know he was on the coaching staff his last go round. Where was he before the Knicks last go round? Chicago?
No,
Chicago.
I think Chicago.
Tibbs
was with Tibbs.
Brunson was with Tibbs then. His dad. Yeah.
Right.
So and Kay, I don't know. That may be Brunson. He could have he may have a plan. He could have talked his way into some master plan.
Because I wasn't think about it like this. Somebody just said about who'd y'all say? Mike Malone having chemistry, the attitude, chemistry with the players. Rick Brunson, it just strikes me that he would have a lot of great chemistry with the players.
He does, but I think they respect him. I think they like him, but I think that I don't know if they, I don't know. I'm not putting it past him. I just don't know about the X and O part or the extra end of the coaching or all of that is what. Honestly, I don't know if that's what he wants to do, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I was just, I listened. You know what?
That's a name that's been thrown around.
He's sitting on the bench. He's the father of the point guard. He played in the NBA. His knowledge of schemes and I'm sure he's got it under his belt, and that communication with the players is the.
But being a
Oh
head
no,
coach,
he has that though. He definitely has that.
Like he's with the players every day. He's with his son every day.
But as
Like
y'all know, man,
talking about schemes, what I would have did, what we should have did. This is how he should have went about it. I tried to get it, but he didn't. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I have no inside information.
That's valid. That's definitely valid.
It's so much more than just coaching the team, though. You have the media obligation. It's New York City. You have.
He's been coaching for the last.
He's been coaching, but I agree. I'm not taking that away from his coaching acumen. But the head coach, as far as having to delegate tasks to all the other coaches, the media obligation as in New York City, the pressure that you have from front office. I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying we haven't seen him do it. And to do it in New York is crazy. You know, ask
but Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson, what he want?
Well, it's going to be very telling to see. First of all, obviously,
Jalen Brunson want to win.
Who their new coach is, but how long they take to put that coach in that seat. Because if it's quick, you know that it was already predetermined and it was something that's in the works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it's quick,
long drawn out. And
but if it's long drawn out like my Steelers right now with our quarterback, then it's gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
Wow. All right,
Man.
so I don't know
Knicks.
if y'all anything else you guys want to say about the New York Knicks, but how about them Pacers?
I mean, I just think I think the Knicks are running back, man. I don't think they had too many crazy flaws within their roster. I think they could use a wing that can score and play defense, a wing. Other than that, because you got Deuce as the backup for Brunson, you could keep one of the other guards. You know, you get a serviceable like third string guard or something like that, like they had with DeLon Wright that came out there and they were using Landry Shamet and different guys like that. You can use guys like that to go beyond that. But I just think that beyond like Bridges, OG, and Hart, you need another guy, you know, that this OG and Bridges like. A little taller than Hart, but a little bit like one of the longer wings that these guys have out here now. A long wing that could defend and that can also give you some points. And I think they'll be fine.
Michael Porter Jr.
He don't play no defense though. He does. He can, and he's streaky shooting, yo.
Yeah, I was gonna originally say maybe like a Caldwell Pope, but I don't know if he got the size you.
Nah. Yeah, Caldwell Pope would work with them because he does play defense and he can shoot.
He's too old though.
Yeah, you need a younger guy. You need like a Dyson Daniels, like one of those type guys like that. Yeah.
Hey.
All up in the screen, man.
Or like one of the Thompson twins. You need one of those type guys, man.
Yeah, maybe you can get one of the Thompson twins. Lord.
I'm not saying to get the Thompson twins. I'm saying a guy like that's long like them that can play defense and that can give you some points.
Yeah, but Asar, right? He's in Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he's something else.
They both good, man.
Yeah,
both great. Yeah.
They're both good.
Yeah, Amon was made. I think he was all defensive first team.
Yeah, they're both
first
good.
and second team.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. What's the boy from Minnesota? Shay's cousin.
Oh no, Alexander West. Walker. Alexander Walker. No, yeah.
Yeah.
The Lakers looking at him.
Lakers looking at. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great pickup. I was thinking for the Knicks, but if the Lakers could get him, that would be.
But
great.
Somebody like that, he's another one. Somebody like him, the Jaden McDaniels, like a Null, somebody like that for the Knicks. Yes.
Yeah. So, but the Pacers though, what's up with the Pacers? What y'all expect to see from them going forward? In this?
If they go 6 games, then that's good for them. Like if they win 2, I'll give them respect.
I'm giving them 1.
I wouldn't be surprised if they shocked the world.
No, I don't. Listen, they can drag this to 7 because
I think they can.
They're gonna get the 2 at home, I think, because
They play
OKC
tough.
as dominant as they've been, they haven't been as good on the road. But Indiana has been good on the road. So don't sleep. If they can steal this game 1 or one of these in OKC, it's legitimately a series. And I think it is anyway. They're as deep as them, they're as talented as them.
Yep.
I don't think, I mean, the defense, OKC defense is sick though, but I think these
But
guys.
the Pacers defense is good as well.
Yeah.
And them hard. Oh my, yo, he can keep up with Shea. He ain't gonna stop Shea, no doubt, but he can slow him down.
Who are they putting on Jalen Williams?
Siakam, huh?
Who are they putting on Jalen Williams?
Siakam
can't stay up, man.
Nah, he not coming out on the wing.
He ain't coming on that wing like that. Jalen Williams be taking off, man. He take the ball off the rebound and just go. Siakam, like that's not what Siakam. No. You can't put Siakam on him. You ready? I mean, you got to put Macron or one of those other guys on him. But you know they're a little too small for him. But that's their better. And you can't put Siakam on him.
So who do you defend Siakam with?
Chet.
Wow. They defend 1 through 8.
Anybody?
They defend 1 through 8, yo. Literally, like almost on an all defensive level. 1 through 8.
They might put Caruso on.
I was about to say
exactly. They can. Caruso was defending Joker for crying out loud.
That's what I'm saying.
They can go. They can defend everybody, yo. They're tough.
Nasty.
They're like one of those bad boy Pistons type defensive teams, yo.
They be hacking too, yo. They be hacking, but hey, it is what it is.
Oh yeah. So that's why if the officials let these cats play and let it get physical, it could turn into a romp because OKC's gonna lean on them. But if they let them run up and down and whatever, then Indy can run with them without a doubt.
Yeah, if OKC stop them from running and get them in the half court, they won't run them out the building because Indy struggles in the half court.
Oh yeah.
And then the way the OKC plays, they play like this box one zone. Like it's just gonna be tough, man.
Yeah.
And they won't get that 90 feet outlet pass to Siakam up and down the court like they did against the Knicks. That ain't happening. Like they're not gonna go 90 feet at the blink of an eye like that.
And the reason they was getting that off on the Knicks is because you got to think about it. You got your point guard who normally at the top who gets back. Jalen Brunson's in the paint shooting the floaters and shooting layups. So nobody's at the top but Cat waiting to shoot a three or shooting threes from the top. And then Cat is too slow to get back. So now you got your top, your top man, your safety at the top, which is Cat, which is your center, the slowest man on the floor, basically. How's he stopping the break? You can't.
Yeah, well, I know Cat is slow, but he's also I don't say lackadaisical. That's not the word I'm looking for. He be too much time talking to the ref, too much time throwing his arms up, like doing shit that prevents you from. You know your man is gonna take off, and he's sitting there, like doing something that's like, all right, you just lost time.
Yeah. Yep. The thing about Cat for the was it 2 years last year, at least 1 year, he had the luxury of playing in front of or behind, however you want to classify, Rudy Gobert, which is one of the top defenders of the NBA. So he wasn't exposed as much. I mean Mitchell, and they didn't see. That's why I give the Knicks credit. They didn't have Mitchell Robinson until like what, March, April.
Yeah.
So that didn't really get a chance to gel. Not making excuses for him, not bringing it back to the Knicks, but I don't know, man.
But that should have also had those other guys ready to go, Pressure True and all those guys ready to go because Mr. Robinson wasn't there all season. But when we got to the playoffs, he didn't play them.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with Precious.
Yeah, he barely played him. He probably lost out of favor with Tibbs. Because Tibbs didn't trust him at all. He threw it's his way at all.
Like, and I'm talking about like they went through multiple series. Like he ain't playing really in no series.
Yeah.
And so you can't really say it's a matchup thing.
I don't know why they didn't put in PJ Tucker. At least put in PJ Tucker to foul.
Yeah.
Knock him a couple times, give him some hard garbage fouls or something. I don't know.
Right.
I don't get that.
Just to make it harder for the opposition. Just to tire somebody down. Make somebody not as effective on the board. PJ Tucker in there for, give him 8-9 minutes. Use up 6 fouls.
Because the Pacers would have turned around and threw James Johnson in there and said, "Okay, you want to put PJ in here, James? Go ahead."
Yo, but
Y'all have at it.
that would have been a good chess move. But I'm like, yo, PJ Tucker specializes in getting under people's skin. I remember when the Nets played the Bucks in that semifinals, that infamous semifinals with the toe on the line. All PJ Tucker did was get in James Harden and KD face and make it hard for them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the whole time when they brought him on the team, that's what his role was going to be in the playoffs, and they didn't even use him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's coaching. I mean, it is. It really is.
Tibbs fall in love with his guys, run them into
Yeah.
the ground. Trust no one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So his whole thing is, I guess it's just like I got to win games. So these are my guys, my best chance to win games. I'm going hard with it, and it is what it is. I'm gonna live and die. I'm gonna fall on this sword with it.
There was a audio of who was it screaming on Tibbs?
Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
Bum ass coach, you don't know how to coach. And it's also a bunch of yeahs and come on guys, and he'll say something, but he's not actually coaching. He's not, strategically communicating what needs to be done. He just rides the wave of his top players, which is not coaching really. It's just managing more than anything. It's not even managing because you're not utilizing the help. So we're back to the same thing, and he's gone.
He'll get a job.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, Kyle.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
He
not.
may not, yo. He may not, because there's shockwaves of a lot of people that's like, yo, I'm not playing for that guy.
Damn,
Wow.
That's true.
He may not, yo.
But all right,
He'll get a
so
college job.
because he was at the Bulls and they were competitive. When he was in Minnesota,
But that was when it started. And everywhere he went, though, everybody always said the same thing about him when they left. He works us too hard. He works us too hard. He works too hard. He works us too hard. And people, I guess, most people were thinking like, oh, these guys are just NBA players and they just lazy. They just making money. They don't want to work. But it followed him, man. It followed him 3 different places.
Hey, who's coaching the Hornets right now?
Huh?
Who's coaching the Hornets right now?
I think it was James. Was it Casey? No. I forgot his name, but they got a decent coach.
Yeah, they got some good young talent too. I know you waving the sign about the weak team, and they are, but they got some young talent, and I think Kai is right. They do got a decent coach in place right now.
Who's coaching the Brooklyn Nets?
The Spanish guy.
Yeah.
40 threes a night.
Yeah. The point that I'm trying to make is that there's always 4 or 5 teams in the NBA that are bottom feeder teams, but can use a coach like a Tibbs to get them at least to playoff competition.
Not at that price tag, though, because they figured, like you said, bottom feeders. If you're a bottom feeder, why are you paying all that money to a coach when you know you ain't going nowhere? You might as well have a rookie coach or a new coach to just coach these new guys up and just figure it out.
Well, I was thinking because in Tibbs' situation, something's better than nothing. And if y'all saying he's not going to get a job nowhere.
I ain't saying he's not. I'm saying that I just doubt it. I said it's going to be hard. I doubt it, though. I doubt it.
He may not, to be honest with you, because there was murmurs when he left Minnesota that or Chicago that, that was his reputation and he may be out of shots. And if they were saying that last go round, if he got fired for the same thing, who's going to give him another shot?
No, you guys are right, because if I remember correctly, this is 2019 when the rumblings were that he was coming to New York, and I remember Frank Isola saying that a big part of him coming to the Knicks was based on relationship, because he was there before. He still was in good standing with a lot of the people in the front office and Dolan himself and all that. Yeah, I might be right. I know the Nets would never go with Tibbs because the Nets thing is they want to go very, European Euro style. Style. And the game might be like a Bill Belichick thing. Maybe the game is passing Tibbs by.
Yo, speaking of Belichick, yeah, he wilding down there in North Carolina. Your homegirl is on the field running around like she a coordinator.
Yo, it's crazy, yo.
She got
She all
fur
dressed
coat
up
on.
like she walking on the runway and everything. It's just
got fur
wild,
coat on
yo.
and shit. Yo, it's crazy. Like,
Well,
really,
Scandal's gonna be one
Belichick
of these
is right
college.
now.
Well,
They banned her though.
once
Did
one
they?
of these college cats knock her down, that's gonna be the real story.
Yo, Bill might be cool with it. He might be like,
That's gonna be the real story.
All right. Yo, I hope Bill wasn't hanging out the Diddy parties. Man.
Oh God.
Hey, listen.
No, but they banned her. The school, the athletic director banned her from all on field and team related activities.
I mean, come on, yo, what we doing?
Yeah.
What are
Also,
we?
too, I forgot who it was, but somebody's son just got promoted and it's like general manager of a team or something. The nepotism again. I forgot which team it was, yo.
Yeah, nobody got a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think it's the Indianapolis Colts. You know, Jim Irsay passed away. Rest in peace, Jim Irsay.
Yeah.
And his daughters have the team.
Well, nah, that I can see that. Like I'm talking about somebody
that's like a Lakers thing, right?
Somebody's son. Yeah, somebody's son just got promoted up. I don't know if it was the Buffalo Bills. I think it might have been the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, you can't really be mad at any of it. If it's yours, it's yours. So,
no, it's not the owner's son. It's an old coach's son or something.
Also, old coach's son.
Yeah, somebody that coached before, and now their son is just like a general manager of a team.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not an owner. Like the owners, you do what you want when you own something.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I know we talked about Brett Favre the other day. I came in on the tail end of a conversation, but did you guys talk about the documentary that Netflix put out with Brett Favre? With the whole
I didn't watch it. You watched it?
I saw it. I saw it,
bro. Man, and I'm not trying to kill them here, but the Jets have to be the most trash organization in professional sports, man. So just to refresh your memory, Kay, like. So Brett Favre is playing for the Jets. He sees she was a sideline reporter.
I know what you're saying. That story. I know it. Yeah.
I remember the story.
Yeah.
So the way maybe you knew this. The part I didn't know until I saw the documentary was she never gives him her phone number, her cell phone number.
Yeah, I know, y'all.
He gets it from the PR, the Jets PR.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of organization is this that the PR is like, oh yeah, right? Just take her number. Just hit her. And then he does what he does. And it's like, and then they never protected her. They kind of
that's what I was tripping off of. They never defended her, they never protected her, they never did anything to Brett. They never, and as much scrutiny and all of that she faced, she never even met the dude.
That's crazy.
They never even linked up with nothing. It was
That's crazy. And I thought, and I didn't watch it because I thought the documentary was about his whole Mississippi welfare stuff that he did.
That's in there. That's in there.
That's in there.
That's what I thought it was more. That's what I thought it was more or less about.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened with Brett Favre? I missed all that. I'm sorry.
No, well, so basically, I was just my whole point because we were talking about ownership, and I was saying how trash the Jets was. But remember the incident he had with the sideline reporter when he sent her the
we said the DP
Yeah.
So Hawk, did you remember or did you know that part of the story that he got the phone number from the Jets PR department? She never gave him the phone number. She never gave him her cell phone number. He got it from the Jets PR department. And she never even, like the clip just said it, she never even met the dude in person.
That's crazy.
So wait.
Boy.
Oh, wow, wait a minute. So
they never even came face to face, yo. They never ever.
He didn't even know her from a can of paint other than give me her number.
He just saw her, but if y'all noticed, she looked just like his wife. A little younger version.
I know. What's her name? Dina Favre. Dina Favre is sitting like, you clown.
She was in remission from like leukemia or breast cancer or something like that at the time. Yo, and okay, they got to the welfare stuff, which is also horrible, but man, that's just like another. Anyway, my whole point of that was bringing that up. Watch it. I mean, don't rush to watch it because it's just terrible. But my whole point is these organizations be so bad because they just have terrible people in them running them.
Yeah.
And then give Deion Sanders a hard time.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, we talk about character. Yeah, he talk his talk, but he walk his walk. But when you look at what he does and his character, man, come on, man. It's unquestionable. He's a good person. A good person.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody wants to be sort of arrogant and bloat on themselves, it's not. I mean, if you're a good person, it doesn't matter. You can do that. Some people are like that. Some people are laid back. Some people are putting more in your face. But hey, man, it's all good. But overall, yeah, Deion comes across and seems to be a cool dude, especially with what he's doing with all the being father figure to all of his kids, not just his kids, but I'm talking about the kids that he's coaching and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's the first time, and they said with 30 or 40 years, the University of Colorado football team, everybody had higher than a 3.0 grade point average.
Yep.
Everybody on the team had a 3.0 or above.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's the level of excellence that he's established for these young men, and they've achieved it. It's like, how many coaches can brag on their players like that? Brag on themselves. Like, and we'll call it bragging. Like, when you pushing towards something good, why is that a negative? If he was out here, you got sexual assault jokers, you got, DUI, every other day is a DUI, you got all types shit that they celebrate.
Well, look at all that. Look at. Imagine if half the things that were going on at University of Georgia, and I'm talking about I'm just talking about just the traffic stuff, because that's where the homicide happened. That's where they had that problem with drag racing. And that coach had no control over those players at all. Imagine if Deion had even one of those infractions. And I'm talking about the players on this team. They said something like half of them don't even have licenses. They've got so many tickets because this is so much of a problem. Dead players, suspended licenses, all these things. But Deion gets, it's you see it. You know why it's happening.
Yeah, if it did, that's crazy.
I recently just watched remember the 30 for 30? It was like 2019 with Deion, the double play when he played for the Braves and played for the Falcons the same day.
Home run and touchdown the same week.
Yeah. Yo, even back then. So this is how resourceful he was, right? So I know I'm pretty sure y'all seen it, but so I won't explain the whole thing. But just to speak to his character, it's like his contract for the Braves only went to July 31st. By August 1st, he was reported to the Falcons. He was a Falcons player. Because the Braves were on a run to go to the postseason, he agreed without a contract to play for the Braves. They went all the way to the postseason. It was in the playoffs against Pittsburgh. So much so that both executives, like both teams, like, yeah, you can play, but we got this game today. You're gonna have to figure it out. Yo, this dude is so resourceful, and I respect this, and I understand that you have to be a real. All that prime stuff is an act, because you have to be a real humble person, have a great relationship, and be a real people person. He went to the executive of Nike, and Nike was able to help facilitate a private plane for him to go from Pittsburgh to Atlanta and back. Like, you can't be a scumbag and have an executive from Nike, give you the private plane and allow you to help facilitate you to do this unheard of thing. Sure, Nike got a lot out of it. They were able to say our athlete plays 2 sports in one day, blah, 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 PR stuff, story stuff. But that's after the fact. Like, going into doing that, nobody's doing that if you're an asshole. Nobody's giving you that stuff. And for your kids and for your wife and all that.
Yeah.
We look at him coaching his boys in high school, them going to Jackson State, bringing Travis Hunter along for the ride, and everybody criticizing Travis Hunter and Deion for doing it, or he gonna ruin his boy's career.
And he ended up being the second pick, yo.
He ended up being the second pick and the Heisman Trophy winner.
Exactly. That's wow. That's because remember what we were talking about this too on this show, how much everybody was hating on Travis Hunter picking Deion and picking Jackson State. And look how all that turned out, yo.
Yeah. Like
because the thing is that like in football, you got to like football, like you don't need to be at the super big schools in football, man. You just need to have a great program and continue to work, man, and you can make it happen.
Right, but so when you say have a great program, right? Like it's Jackson State wasn't championship ready until he got there.
I'm talking about Deion made it a great program. That's what I'm saying. The fact that he was with Deion, it made it a great program to develop and continue to develop.
Right. So no, to that point, that it's literally him creating it. Like it's not. He's not walking into University of Miami. He's not walking into Oklahoma. He's not walking to a Texas, and it's his program.
Right.
His resource. No, it's literally him bringing his own resources to bear to elevate Jackson State 2 years in a row. However he leaves, but we could all agree that program's, he left it better than when he got there.
Right.
He goes to Colorado, and it's the same thing. Within 2 years, the program is better than when he got there.
Yeah.
And his son is the Johnny Unitas winner. Travis Hunter is the Heisman Trophy winner. This is a guy with a gold jacket. He's arguably the best player at his position in NFL history. How do you ever front on this man? I'm trying to, how do you deny him what should rightfully be his, and that's the respect.
It's probably sort of along the same line of what Kai is saying as far as, but it's the reverse. Whereas you're not an asshole. You establish those relationships with those higher up in those execs. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But Deion is the same type of cat that could have or either pissed off or somebody up there is hating on him for some reason from maybe back in the day or whatever. And that's what spearheaded all of this. You know what I'm saying? That one cat that's whatever that didn't fuck with Deion.
Yeah,
just, whatever, for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah. And to your point, Cliff, it could be one or two people. That's very powerful.
It could be one person. It could actually be one person.
It could be one cat. Yeah.
It could be one person. It could be one influential owner, just one, or general manager, just one. That people that a few people respect and kind of got a good relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
Only takes one.
Yeah, but you just set the obstacles up in a way where when he conquers them all, because he's going to. Shador's going to excel. Shiloh's going to excel. Deion at Colorado is going to excel.
Think about it like this, Hawk. He's already doing it in different ways. Where's Michael Vick going to be starting coaching this fall? Norfolk State. Where's Deshaun Watson? Not Deshaun Watson. Deshaun, what's his name? Deshaun Jackson going to be coaching. He's set a precedent for these incredible players to go back to these schools, not the Power 5 schools, but these other schools, and hopefully they can create their systems and operations. So, man, this dude's.
So I want to that point just send a shout out to Eddie George, who was one of the first ones to go back.
Tennessee State.
Tennessee State. So I think he was doing that before Prime got to Jackson State.
Yeah, my nephew played for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but we gotta appreciate Prime and sweat Prime because again, this is all based on the trajectory of his kids, coaching them, coming up with them, and you said it, Hawk, man. It's them, and they elevated these programs. They went here, They got Travis Hunter, did their thing, built Jackson State. Then they went to Colorado, and Colorado was 0-9. They haven't sniffed like back-to-back wins in like what, a decade? And Dion, now that program now, not only are they elevated to like bowl status, but the players are smart now. The players are making grades. I mean, like, and that's all Dion.
Right.
That's all.
The whole town is making money.
Like,
the hotel,
the whole to Boulder is Dion land right now.
Yeah, it's all about Dion. He did all that,
and that's what they don't want. That's the rub. Any franchise he goes to, especially if he is involved in saving the franchise, they don't want him getting the credit for it.
Yeah,
that's it. They don't want him getting. You can't help it. You know, he's gonna come here if it's Giants or if it's the Browns or if whoever he goes. If he's involved in any day-to-day, if there's any consultation going on from Prime, he gonna get the credit.
Yeah. I kind of think that, with that, and with that being said, like, I think that, the gift and the curse of it too, because I think that that's part of what, especially when the teams didn't take, at least my take of what I think, when they didn't take his son in the first round or even the second, I think other teams were hesitant to deal with, all of the rest of that of what we're talking about now, the aura, the whole cloud, everything that comes with it, of sitting Shador and not giving him the opportunity to be the franchise quarterback and starting him.
Yeah.
I thought they would. I thought that's my personal take. I thought a lot of teams were kind of scared.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they said a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs over this because once he starts balling out, because everybody passed on him. It's not like one team. He went in the 5th round, so everybody passed on him multiple times.
Yeah,
there's gonna be some people that lose their job, I'm sure, over this.
Yeah, I mean, but there's still questions on whether he's gonna make the roster.
Well, that's because he's not getting the reps.
Yeah.
And again, is that something that's being jerry-rigged too? You know what I mean?
No, it has to be if you're not getting the reps, because the thing is just like
he's the 5th round pick.
Doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter, man. Like, everybody should be out there, and it should be like, okay, you go, okay, you go, okay, you go, okay, you go.
That's not how it generally works. That's not how it works. If it's the punishment, we're gonna send you to the 5th round to put you in a position where you can't succeed, and that is because you have 4 quarterbacks in the building. Flacco, who's the presumed starter. You got Pickett, who we traded for. We got Gabriel, who was the 3rd round pick, and we picked you in the 5th round. We give you equal snaps as Gabriel, Pickett, and Gabriel's not even seeing touches. It's Flacco and Pickett, and then it's Gabriel.
Well, good. Go ahead and live and die by Pickett and Flacco, because I mean you're in a division with my Steelers, so I'm fine with that. Go ahead and do it.
Hey man, I mean I really hope they break the system and we're gonna do this differently, because we did front on Shador. We should have picked him in the 2nd round, the latest. But it's
another horrible organization though.
He'll get enough
snap.
I think he'll get enough snap to make an impression, just because, with the preseason and full training camp and the remember they also have those inter-team practices too. So I think he'll get the snap. I mean, but
from what we've heard so far, the reports is that he's doing some incredible things with the snaps that he was getting. Right.
So let me ask this though. So I get what you're saying with the hierarchy and just the totem pole thing. So basically, he on the sideline just tossing the ball to
unless they just don't know who their quarterback is. You know what? We don't know who our quarterback is going into the season.
That would be my take on the Browns, because who's their quarterback?
They think Flacco or Pickett. That's what they think, and that's what they hope.
So if it was me, I'm starting Flacco.
Flacco came out recently and said that he, by no means is he there to give any tutelage, train anybody.
He's there to start.
He said he there to start.
He's there to start.
I mean, you got a Super Bowl winner, MVP, journeyman quarterback for the Browns 2 years ago and did extremely well.
Yep.
Like, I start the season with him. Now, who's number 2?
I'm not saying you don't. All I'm saying is that you let the rest of them fight for who's number 2, but you at least get them all reps. All 3 of them other guys, y'all are the number 2 fighting for the number 2 rep. We're gonna we're projecting to go with Flacco. Y'all 3 fight for the number 2 slot, and then we go from there and see who gets that. But for him, for the totem pole thing, just automatically just be like, hey man, just go into the side and just toss balls to whatever, and not getting that's crazy, yo.
It's crazy.
But that's the usual way it works. So the presumed starters getting the reps. Your second team quarterback is going to see some snaps, not many.
Right. I get during the season and regular practice, but like training camp and all that, like I would think everybody's out there doing it.
Yeah, but you on it, but there's no pads. It's not like these. What do you call these? What do you call this section of?
I know you're talking about. Yeah, OTAs. Yeah.
OTAs. It's like you run around. It's like
you just got a helmet on and no pads or nothing.
You do doubles in preseason.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying that at least you get a chance to see. You like, oh dang, he can actually make those throws. Oh dang, he can actually do this. Oh dang, he can actually do that. And the coaches will see that.
Yeah,
people are reporting on it, right?
Yeah.
And he looks good, no pads. So when you go into real preseason practice, you haven't seen him with pads on. Now, you haven't seen any. Well, you know what Flacco's going to give you. Pickett, you kind of know because he's played for Pittsburgh, and who else he played for?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
He played for the Eagles.
But he was a backup quarterback, right?
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl with him.
Right. So the talk was they traded for Kenny Pickett with a 5th round pick. So essentially, they traded, like they didn't lose nothing by getting Shador at the 5th in the 5th round. Like it was like a throwaway pick at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this 5th round pick though is not an ordinary 5th round pick, as we know. Kimberly Martin is already out there reporting rigorously. Dan Graziano is going to make his rounds, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go out there. And it's going to be a ton of other national press that's going to be asking them specifically, okay, Flacco, okay, Dylan Gabriel, okay, Pickett, okay, what are we doing with Shador? They're going to get that. That doesn't mean that they're going to still work them out. That doesn't mean that they're going to throw pads on them, put them out there to play. But I think they're going to get the pressure to at least answer questions about a 5th round pick more than they ever have done in the history of the game. And that could create enough pressure in itself for them, even if it's their attempt is to see him fail, to throw him out there just to satisfy all of them.
Yeah.
And that's my point and what I was saying. And that's how I felt that a lot of teams didn't want to deal with. And that's why when it got to that point, they just didn't want to draft him.
Yeah,
now,
I got you.
But check this out. Shador has the top selling jersey of all the rookies so far. So
right.
You talk about the, money at the, merchandise.
Most important thing.
Yeah.
He's a seats and asses and seats.
Exactly. And the Browns ain't going to win too many games. So they like, well, then the owners will probably, well, at least we can do some merchandise with this guy. So they're going to be making calls and sitting down crunching those numbers and sitting at that round table like, yeah, okay, I get y'all with y'all X and O's on that field. but that don't make that don't make dollars and cents up here. And this is what make dollars and cents. He's on the roster.
Yeah.
If I was on their PR team, I asked them to soft launch a fan fest practice in August, and ask old boy to go out there and sign a couple autographs, or not even just take a couple pictures and just see how many people you get that will come to the Cleveland Browns practice just see if he's a draw. And I think
I'm sure they're going to do that in the game or two, because he's probably going to start one of these preseason games.
In the preseason,
they're going to try to feature him. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to put Flacco out there for this preseason. So it's going to be between the three other starters to play most of the preseason. But he's going to get a lot of burn, definitely in these preseason games. It's just a matter of what he does with it.
And that's going to get a lot of coverage.
Exactly. And that may force them to play him.
Yeah.
He should do. I mean, not to say that he should embrace being a heel. I think he's too much of a positive spirit to embrace like a Floyd Mayweather type of mentality. And I'm not saying he should do that, but in his own way, like there's power in people coming to see you fail, and if he could find a way to harness that, that could help him too.
Well, yeah, I think they figured it out, and that's just be great, and not just on the field, but but in everything that he does, it's nothing but good news when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. You don't hear anything negative, outside of what happened in the draft and the narratives that were being created. There are no off the field issues. There are no questions about his dedication to, his stories about him getting to practice dumb early before the facility even opens, and him going to practice other places on his own. There's no bad story to latch onto. There's no weed, no alcohol. There's no, he's got the gold and the gold. He got the diamonds and the platinum and all that shit going, but he's not all in the club. You know what I mean?
That's my point. So we know that prime time is an act, right? Like there's Deion Sanders and there's Prime. And I think Prime even explained himself. He said, Prime, when I throw the shades on and I'm Prime, this is my character. This is who I am. This is my act. If Shedeur, he doesn't have to be Prime, obviously. That's what worked for Deion in the 80s and 90s. But if Shedeur can create that thing, that alter ego, that whatever it is, and make the media. I'm not saying make the media hate him, but you know what I'm saying.
I got you. Understood. Yeah.
It's like entertainers, like entertainers do. Like most entertainers got an alter ego, even from their name. Like some people have, their born name, and then most people have a stage name, and they're two different people.
Yeah.
What Beyonce say? Sasha Fierce.
Right, Sasha Fierce.
Pause. He got to find his Sasha Fierce, man.
Yeah.
What else is there out there in the sports entertainment stratosphere?
I actually got to jump here, fellas, but great talk as always, man.
Always, yes, sir.
I'll see y'all next week.
All right, Kyle. Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, got anything else happening?
Nothing really going on in baseball. WNBA, nothing really shaking. I mean,
Caitlin Clark is hurt. She's hurt and out.
Who's that?
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin is out.
Hamstring injury or something like that.
The Lynx are undefeated, and the Liberty are good too. I mean, but nothing really.
Liberty's undefeated too.
Huh?
Liberty's undefeated as well. They're both undefeated.
Oh, they are? Liberty is too? Okay.
Yeah, they both are.
They lost one.
Nah, they both are. I think they're both 7-0.
Okay.
Where y'all think Giannis is gonna land? I think he's.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I heard a report that he wouldn't mind going to Toronto. I don't know where that came from and what and why, but like that might. Yeah, that just it's like what?
Well, I mean, people love Toronto as a city. That's my second home, so I'm mad at it. But they got some nice young talent, and I think people are looking at the East like it's pretty wide open. You know what I'm saying? There's no super dominant team, and Giannis filling in a couple of gaps could make anybody definitely a playoff team or a contender. And Toronto could be in that ilk too. I mean, if Giannis they got Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, I like Scotty Barnes. They got RJ Barrett.
Yeah, RJ Barrett, and they got
but what are they giving up to get him though? Because you have to give up something to get him.
Yeah. It's Masai Ujiri. He's been known to pull some rabbits out of hats, and he has some deep relationships too. So I don't know.
I don't know, man.
The Giannis sweepstakes is gonna be wide though. Everybody's in on it.
So I'm hearing that Popovich wants to do everything in his power to bring Kawhi back to San Antonio.
What about Giannis to San Antonio?
I've heard that too.
I've heard, that Houston as well.
Yeah, but you figure Kawhi to San Antonio wouldn't cost them a lot because I think people are, they're sold on. They're not really down with the Kawhi and his hype. He's hurt too much. But if Pops want him, that'll be a good fit because they're a piece away with what they got going on. I mean, they got the rookie of the year, both last two. They got Wemby. They got
Fox.
CP3.
They got Fox. They got Fox now.
Yeah, Fox.
Fox.
I mean,
well, you add Kawhi to that mix.
Yeah.
They got
Castle, rookie of the current rookie of the year. They got a squad. They get Kawhi back.
And then Whatchcom can play too. Devin Vassell or whatever his name is. He can play for them. He's good.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting offseason in the NBA. It's gonna be real interesting to see how things unfold.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But all right.
There are gonna be a lot of teams that's gonna be fire selling too.
Yep.
There's a lot of talk of LaMelo Ball moving somewhere. They saying that Lonzo said he think he's going to the Clippers.
Well, now if the Clippers don't keep Kawhi, the verdict is out on James Harden. Is he staying and LaMelo's coming, or James?
I don't know, but that's what I saw a post or something about that Lonzo thinks that LaMelo will end up in LA with the Clippers.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a lot of players moving around, a ton.
And I know Dallas is, with Kyrie out, it's gonna need a point guard. And I saw something too, and I think this is the perfect one though that they should do. They were saying that they with the Pelicans and all that, they should go and get like a Jose Alvarado. That would be a good one for them. Jose Alvarado and Herb Jones, get them two from the Pelicans over there at Dallas. That will help Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dallas, they got the games.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, we're going to wrap this one up.
All right.
All right.
I appreciate y'all.
Okay, y'all.
So, y'all got OKC. I got the Pacers.
I'm definitely OKC. OKC in 5, yo.
I'm OKC in 7.
I'm gonna go Pacers in 7.
Okay.
All right. We'll see what it is.
Later, guys.
Peace.
All right, yo. Peace.